Well, I've drunk this whole cup of coffee trying to get this camera to work. So I guess I don't need no more coffee today. Ah! I am wired. Not to mention, anytime your camera goes wrong, it just upsets the heck out of you. So what can I say? We made it. We got it. I had to redo everything, but we got it working. Woohoo! And you know what? I had planned to do a card today about coffee because it is snowy cold here in North Carolina. I mean, we're talking teens here. We're talking ice on the ground, and what can I say? But there's going to be more snow this weekend. So, wow, you need to get online, place your order quickly so I can get it in the mail and get it to you so you and I can play together. Speaking of playing together, what do you think about us doing a craft date this afternoon? I think that would be a great idea. So at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to jump online, and I want you to have a few things close to your craft room. Number one, I want you to have a few beautiful, colorful inks. I also want you to have some paper. Let's do pattern paper. And you're going to need your stamp wheel. You're going to need your blending markers. Oh, and let's just go all out. Let's just go ahead and get us together our watercolors as well. So pull out a few of your Tim Holtz watercolors. That's what we're going to be using right now. So let's see what I've got going on the craft table. Here we go. Baby. Oh, look, isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, my God, I'm so happy to see it work. You know, I got some awesome things coming in, and I thought I'd take a minute and show you just a few of them. This way, I get the heads up before Cindy. You know, that behind-the-scenes girl. She's going to want to show you this one, but I've already got it made. Look at that. His legs swing from side to side. What can I say? He's just too stinking cute. But what I do, I love it, is how can we be the same age as old people? This one has got some dynamite places on it. So if you like using your butter, you're going to love this. This is going to be an upcoming class. I'll be posting it today. And if you've already got some of our butters, you're going to love the deal that you'll get on these classes. But remember, you had to buy the butters from us, and I'll be sure to give you a list of the butters colors that I'm going to use. So this is an upcoming class, and everybody's going to want these stencils. Let's see what else I've been making. Oh, for those of you that's been working on the cookbooks with me, look what's coming. This is coming to us from, oh, wait a minute. How come I'm upside down? Guess that's another something else I'm going to have to work out. But this says hello, and this has the cutest thing. Look at that mitten, and it's got your rolling pin. Oh my gosh, honey, this thing has got it all. And this is coming from Spellbinders real soon. Already been ordered. So you're going to love seeing that one. But we've got bunches of other things coming. You're going to just have to watch and see. Be sure to keep an eye on Cindy when she does her behind-the-scenes kind of stuff. Because, you know, she's got some pretty cute stuff she likes to play with. All right, so we're going to be playing today with a stamp set. And this stamp set is called Tea Time, I think. Let's see. It is called Coffee or Tea. Well, I don't know which one we'll use today, but we're going to be using this stamp set. It is in our craft room right now, and it's made by Hero Arts. So I know already it's going to be a lot of fun to work with. Let's see if I can get it out of the package this morning. I mean, nothing else is going right? Why would it go right that I'd be able to get this out of the package? Okay, so I do have my awesome... Let's see if I can get you up. There you go. I do have my awesome stamping wheel. And if you want to know how I got the lines underneath, well, that was easy. I got one of these. They're really inexpensive, but it has on it your A2 cards diagram, whether you want to do it by portrait or landscape. You can do either one. And I just put it down underneath my sticky mat, and it shines right through, so I don't have to worry about all that other guiding stuff that you have to use when you're doing it. Now, I'm going to put down my card, and see, I'm just lining my card up within it. And because my card is smaller, this is a 4 by 5 1/4, You can see it doesn't quite fit. I love that sticky mat. So I'm going to just measure it up in there. That way I know it'll be in the center of my card. Of course, it always helps if I get it straight. Y'all know me. I can't get nothing straight. I must have been born crooked. I should have asked my mom that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do something I like to call masting. And I like to do my masting. Oh, I want to use another piece of paper first. Let's see. Oh, well, we'll make this work. So when you're doing masting, you put down your, it's stuck. Wait a minute. Maybe it's supposed to be stuck. I don't know. Anyway, we put down our cup and we're going to make our first impression. So here we go. Oh, I got mad and put my ink up. Let me get my ink back out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's just tack it on down there. Hey, boy, it stuck good, didn't it? All right. Uh-oh, where did you go? There you are. My phone must have went to sleep. What can I say, boy? It is a day for problems. But I'm working on them. We're going to get them all straightened out. Because I'm looking forward to doing some crafting with everybody this afternoon. And what time did I say? 2 o'clock. We're going to jump online and we're going to just craft. And you're going to craft the things you want to craft. And I'm going to craft the things that I want to craft. And we're going to show each other some fun stuff. Okay? All right. So that one worked for me just great. And when I do my masting, I like to come in here and I like to cut this out. So let me grab my scissors here. I got everything all discombobbled because I've been working downstairs trying to get some stuff done down there. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this out. And I cut it really close to the line when I do this because I'm masting. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put this cup down and then I'm going to stamp over top of it. And then that way I can get a really, really neat way of doing these cups. You're going to see, and you know what? I know you're going to like it. You know what? I think I'm going to, well, no, I started saying I think I'm going to cut that off, but I don't think I am. I think I'll leave it on. Alright, so as you see, I'm just doing a quick fussy cut. I want to bring to your attention that while I'm fussy cutting, if you will notice, I am actually turning my paper and not my scissors. That gives me an easier way to fussy cut. I know some of you guys just don't like it. So here's my suggestion. Take and put these pieces that you fussy cut to do your masting with so you can find it. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this one down because this is still going to be my first cup. I should not have taken that off my board. What would have made me done that? The day, I guess, because it's definitely been one of those days. All right, so there we go. We'll put this down. I am going to need to ink it. So here you go. We're going to ink it. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it over and just push it down. I love the way this works. The stamping wheel will allow me to stamp it twice if I don't get it the way I want it. And that happens to me sometimes. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to put this over top of it. Now I like to do this with my tape that I would use when I'm using it on my platinum. But of course that tape's not up here, it's downstairs. Here's one. Aha! It always helps to have two. But I have been crafting downstairs, and that's mostly because I have been doing a little caregiving here. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to put this down, and this time I'm going to want to sit it so that, I don't want that on there. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm going to sit it so that it looks like the cup is sitting in the cup. But like I said, I don't want that on there. Let me take it off. Ta-da! Remember, when you're doing your masking, you just put something there so that it doesn't come back on top of it. There you go. And here we go. We're going to put this down. All right. And I got to pick it up smoothly. There you go. And I'm inking it back up again. And I do love the stamping wheel. I know they have a bigger one, and that one's great if you're going to be doing something like scrapbooking. And I do use that bigger one for my scrapbooking, but I really like this one for my card making. It's easy to handle. I don't know. It's just nice. All right, now when you look at that, you think, oh my God, Elaine's got a mess. But look at this. Is that not the cutest thing you have ever seen? And as you can see, it has made 2 cups, and it looks like one is sitting on the inside of the other one, or you might want to say one is behind the other one. Either way you want to look at it, that's how we'll say it is. And then I want to put a saying on the inside of this one. And I think I'm going to use the saying that says, "You warm my heart." So I'm going to put this right up here. Of course, I could have done that when I did my masking stamping, but I didn't. That's okay. I can do it now. And I'm going to come back, and I think I'll continue to use my black. You know, the thing I like about Hero Arts is that most of the time, you don't even need to condition their stamps. I don't know what it is. Some stamps you need to condition, but this is a stamp set that you don't. And you look how awesome that is. And that's on a first stamp too. Alright, so let me put this right over here so it's up and out of my way. And I'm not going to need my black ink anymore. And I'll put that on the inside of my piece that I'm going to use to store my stamp in, so that I won't have to do that masking again. Now I am using Tim Holtz color set number 2, whereas if you took my class with this color set, you have seen us use number 2 multiple times. And I'm also going to be using color set number 5. Now, of course, when you buy the Tim Holtz stamps, when you buy the Tim Holtz watercolors, you'll learn early on that you don't really have to worry too much about them, because they are watercolor through and through. All right, so here you go. I'm just putting down some water, and that's what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do one of these cups in ripe persimmons. Okay. And notice I'm just taking the color off of my crayon just by running it straight in that water. Now that water is really, really thick, so that means my color is going to be really thin. So if I want to thicken up my color, I'll just pull a little more of the color off. And then I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to be coloring my cup. Now, one of the things that I like about the Tim Holtz watercolors is I can actually make whatever color I want it to be, and I can spread it out evenly. So even though I started with a dark spot there, I can just take my watercolor and just keep using it and keep using it, and it will come out perfect for me. So Tim Holtz watercolor markers are the best when it comes to putting down color and moving it around. I also like the fact that I can use my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils straight. I can use them as a watercolor pencil, or I can come back in here and use them as I've used them here with a paintbrush. This is gonna be cute. And notice I'm letting my paint get a little bit thin, and that's because I want to do a little shadowing here. I don't want my whole cup to be the same color, so I'm doing a little shadowing around it. But at the same time, I want my shadowing to be smooth. I don't want it to be, thick in one place and not in another. So here we go. I've got all that done. Now I'm going to come back, and I'm just going to use the thin colors. See how I've moved this over to the side so I can just pick up a thin color there? And then when I put this one down, It's not going to be as bright as the other one, but it is going to still have some of the color. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice the way it does that? I really like the way I can actually tone out my colors using the watercolor markers. Now on this back piece, I really want it to be dark. And because I don't have, excuse me, I have to turn my paper as I go. I don't really have to have, I really don't have to have a lot of it, but I'm not very good at putting things down with my paintbrush when I need something thin. So I just use my watercolor marker. There you go. And I can come back in here and I can add some shadowing to this. Remember, my paper is already wet, so it makes it easy to just add that color in. The other thing I need to tell you is that when I started this project, I didn't pick up watercolor paper. I am just using regular paper here, ladies. So this project might have gone a little smoother and even maybe looked a little nicer if I had to come back in here and used watercolor paper. But I didn't even think about it. Everything else has gone wrong this morning. I don't know why I think this one wouldn't be. All right, so for my top cup, I'm going to be using Mermaid Lagoon. And you heard me tell you from the beginning that we were going to use 2 different color packs, and I have. So with Mermaid Lagoon, I'm going to pick it up, and I am going to put my color down with it. And I think this time I'm going to start with that back rim, so that back rim will be here. And you could say that this cup is kind of sitting behind the first one. So I'm making it a little bit darker around the back rim, just like I did a little while ago. But notice, I'm using my watercolor marker in a different way. I wet the marker in my water, and then I took and added it to my paper. Now, if I want to water it down, I can do that. See how I tapped it and I got some thick spots there? That's okay. I can take them out simply by adding the water that I need to move it. So I really like the way the Tim Holtz watercolor markers work. Now we do have them all in our store. So look and see what sets you already have in your craft room. If you don't have any sets at all in your craft room, I'm going to recommend that you start with set number 2. Set number 2 offers a good variety of colors. And it also has colors that you'll find will match and you can use with all of your other products. So there you go. All right, you see how I'm getting rid of all those lines? Making it look good here. You don't have to be an artist to make these things work. You just have to know how to fudge it. That's what I call fudging. It's called fake it till you make it. There you go. Now I got a little dot here. I want to water it out. And you see how I just pull it right out just by moving my colors around. I'm no fancy artist. Don't pretend to be. But I do like to get my my pieces so that they look nice. Now remember a while ago we put some lighter pieces on the inside. I'm going to do the same thing in this now. I'm just going to put it down real lightly. I may have it a little too dark. Let's dilute it down. There you go. That did it. So this is kind of like the inside of the cup. And I wanted the inside of the cup to be a little lighter. There you go. So as you can see, it's all put down for me now. And I've got that the way I want it. Now I want the outside of my handle here. I'm going to make this one really dark. And so I'm going to just color it with a wet marker. So what I did was I kept tapping my marker in there, getting it good and wet. And now when I color it, it colors out really nice. There you go. I like the way these come out. I want to thank you for joining me, and I do apologize again for being late. Technical difficulties are they're a way of life now. Computers work great when they work great, but when they don't work great, they can certainly be aggravating. All right, so you see how I've made my handle a little bit darker than all of my cup. And I'm noticing when I look at the camera that my coffee cup right here is light, and actually that would be a shadow. So I'm going to just darken it up a little bit. And because my paper's wet, it's going to look a little smudgy for a little while, but it'll taper out. There we go. We have it darker, and I'm smoothing it out just like we talked about. See? It's so easy to use watercolors. There you go. I like that much, much, much better. Okay, so now I decided I wanted to just show you around with some of the colors. So instead of making this handle the same color orange as this, I've decided I'm going to do it in a different color. So I'm going to add some water down here because I need a clean spot of water. And I'm going to just pick it up on my crayon or my watercolor pencil. And I'm going to use the yellow right around the edges. And this is how I can make my handle a different color. And at the same time, it's going to be pretty bright. And I just kind of wanted it to be bright this morning. Okay, so I also want to do the bottom. So I'm going to do it in this yellow as well. There you go. I really like this set. It's easy. It's easy. And I did put in here that it's tea. I may take and cut that off my stamp. And ladies, it's okay to cut it off. You don't want tea up there every time. There we go. So, doesn't that look really, really nice? I really like the way that this one has come out. It's been easy to do, and it looks very nice for me to be putting on my card. Now, let's see what kind of card I want to put it on. Since I've used a lot of the yellows and blues, I can have a choice of what color card I want to put on it. There we go. So I'm thinking I may want to go with this one, or maybe I want to go with something a little darker. Let's see what I got here. Oh, here's a good choice. So I may decide that I want to go with this one. So I'm going to let you decide which one you like the best, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is the one I like the best because it really makes my card pop. So here we go. Let's get this all put down. And of course my glue press is downstairs, but that's okay. I think I have some other glue laying around up here. I do. Oop. Getting my paper in my water here. Let's get that up. There we go. All right, so let's take and put a little bit of adhesive on here. I really should have used watercolor for this, but oh well, I didn't. I got so frustrated with the camera not working, I just reached up and grabbed the wrong paper. But that's okay, it works, and it does very nicely. That's one of the things that I like about the Spellbinders paper. It's thick enough I can use it for just about anything. And that's what I've done. I've picked up a sheet of the Spellbinders white. We do carry Spellbinders in our store. I'm thinking at this time I may not have all of the colors, but if there's a color you're missing, let me know. I'll be happy to pull it up for you. I am so happy that I brought back up, that's a little bit wet, want to wait for it to dry. I'm so happy I brought back up my must-have caddy, otherwise I'd really be in trouble. So let's take a closer look at this card. Isn't that awesome? And as you can see, I just did a little bit of masking and a little bit of watercoloring, and I got it all together. I said, "You warm my heart," and I named it Tea. I can come back on the inside of this and put me in a card. And you know, I'll almost bet that this stamp set is going to have a saying that will look good in it. Let's see what it says. All right, so you warm my heart. You're the sugar to my tea. Thanks a latte. You're my best tea. And then, of course, it has coffee. You warm my heart. Nope. This is the one I want. You're my bestie. You're my bestie. I like that, especially since the tea popped out on the front. And we can come back. We can put our card down where we want it to be. And of course, I didn't get that one straight either. Boy, one day I'm going to get this thing down pat. I'm going to learn how to do something straight. And I think I got just the solution. I've just got to get it put on my desk. I mean, I've got this grid here on my desk. I still can't line anything up. Y'all know me. I'm just a little loony. There we go. All right. Push that down. I think I'll knock it off with some ink. I'll go back to my black. And again, this is the first time this stamp set's been used. And as you can see, you don't really have to do all of that. You don't have to do your conditioning to most of those stamps. They work great the first time. Woohoo! Shake, rattle, and roll. You're my bestie. I love the way that works. That looks nice. All right, so let's put that on the inside of our card. Woo! Boy, I would love to have my precision glue press right now. I tell you what, it makes all the difference in the world when you put these things down, not having too much adhesive. Gosh, I can't imagine how much money I've saved in adhesive just using that better press, that precision better press. It's awesome. All right, ladies, so there's our card for today, and we didn't leave it naked. We have it perfect on the outside. And I don't know why this is showing up backwards, but I'll figure it out before we get started this afternoon. In the meantime, enjoy what you craft, craft what you love, and I will see you next Wednesday right here on Coffee and Crafting with Pelletier Craft Studio in Raleigh, North Carolina. Have a great day. Bye.